Hello there, this is Sampada Agarwal CZT again, and today is the 15th of February, and welcome to today's tangle time with me. We are exploring this wonderful Zentangle method that helps us find some creativity plus some relaxation. So today I will introduce a new tangle, and this is called PRINTEMPS, and it has a French pronunciation. The meaning of this word is spring, and you'll see why it is called that. So let me start with the first step of the Zentangle method, which is giving gratitude. And I'm grateful for this opportunity to share a little bit of creative time with you, and I do appreciate you taking the time to join me. So with that, let's get the corner dots are done. So I'm just going to add a border connecting these dots, and this is going to be the area in which we will tangle, right? So now, since we are thinking of doing PRINTEMPS, let's begin. Let's actually do something different. The string that I want to use is maybe a couple of squares like that, so it just looks like there is a square and there is a rectangle and there is another square here. So these look like overlapping geometrical shapes, right? So we could just stick in a couple of tangles this way. So let's do PRINTEMPS, and in its really wonderful form, the way it works is you start with a dot and then you go around, usually counterclockwise. I prefer to go counterclockwise too, and then you just keep repeating what we call this as an aura in Zentangle language, right? So this is one. So this kind of looks like a spring, right? So that's why, and spring in French is printemps. Okay, so now to do the next spiral here, I'm going to start a little close to it. And the reason why I start close is because now this one is going to kind of overlap with the other one, right? So it kind of gives it a nice three-dimensional look. So that is what we are going to do. And the other thing that usually Maria does is, Maria is one of the founders of this style of art, Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. So what she does is, when you start off this spiral, she stops at 11 o'clock, and that little space that is left kind of gives it a little bit of a sparkle. So this is what PRINTEMPS looks like. And you can make these spirals as large or as small as you want. So I'm not going to go beyond this square because that's my border within the border, right? So this is how we are going to, so we fill this square up, right? So similarly, and then as far as the rest of the area is concerned, we could fill in these areas with dark spaces. And then let's do another kind of printemps, and this is something different. So ultimately the idea of Zentangle is to improvise and create something new every time you try out a tangle, so that you don't copy every time, but instead you come up with different possibilities. So that's what we should all strive to do. And I can vouch for this way of thinking because it really does help you get out of a rut, you know. So we could do something different with these printemps. What I could do is I could just go ahead and add what are called perfs. Perfs are nothing but orbs, and you just go ahead and add them a little way. You don't want to go all the way because otherwise you'll just keep going around, right? So this is just something different, kind of makes your printemps look. See how this one looks different from this now immediately as soon as you added these orbs, or perfs as they're called in Zentangle language. They look like ball bearings or something, right? So so these are two different kinds of printemps. There's a very simple one also. If you do not want to do the sparkle, you could just go ahead and make a spiral like that, and that's okay too. It's completely up to you. Okay, and you'll see how each of these three look a little bitty different, right? This one looks different from this. And the other thing is, I for one am comfortable going from inside out, but a lot of times I have seen others go outside in. So pick whatever works for you. Okay, so these are just a little different varieties of printemps. Now, as far as shading is concerned, obviously because this is where the overlap is, we would definitely have the ones that are behind to get a little shading like so, right? So this is where we are going to show the shadow, because you have these bigger spirals overshadowing the ones that are behind, right? We could also add a little bit of a triangle opposite the sparkle, and that's kind of making it a little weighted. Adding a little weight here. So this is, see how wonderfully three-dimensional it looks. It looks almost like an optical illusion, right? And similarly here too, we will give a little bit of a shadow to these spirals that are hiding behind. And we can always add more shading on the outside of these two. So it's completely up to us how we want to pursue. So maybe we could just highlight this square here. And this square is on top, so the other one is at the bottom. So we could have this one, since it's on top, we can have it cast a shadow, right? And this way you could show, and you don't have to worry about erasing these lines. Instead, you will just go ahead and highlight them. This one again is casting a shadow on the other one. And so you get the point. You could easily highlight these squares themselves. And why leave this one behind? We can easily go ahead and shade this one too. So there we go. So these are the different, and of course I'll need to shade these guys as well. I did not shade them. But similarly we could do that. And so that is what I had to share with you today as far as tangling is concerned. And just wanted to show you something else. These are canvas pouches, and I tangle on them as well, and you might find some familiar tangles. We have flux here and tipple here, and a very simple form of printemps here, and we also have muka. We will talk about these two maybe in the coming days. I have to do this one for sure, the crescent moon and the shatter. But we will play around with these. I have a lot of these that I make, and it's just so much fun, because once you start tangling on fabric, it just works wonderfully. So anyway, thought I just share that with you, and I hope to see you again. Oh yeah, I forgot to initial. Let me go ahead and add my initial. And I also forgot to appreciate my tile. I really do like this sampling of printemps. And I hope you enjoyed this. I surely do, again, appreciate this time. and hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Be kind. Namaste.